Good morning, dear students. Today's our class fixed dose combination as FDC and this OTC drug that's the over the counter drugs. These two topics included in your syllabus as PH 1.59. For your better understanding, I just split this topic fixed dose combination and then this over the counter drugs. I will discussed on the next our class. Okay, today we discuss only fixed dose combination. What is fixed dose combination? That's the combination of two or more active drugs in a single drug formulation. That is fixed dose. This fixed dose combination products are acceptable only when the dosage of each ingredients meets the patient's requirement. Okay, this is our today's learning objectives. First we discuss about this some introductions about fixed dose combinations and what are the comments on WHO, what are the advantages and disadvantages of these combinations, and most of these drugs are these fixed dose combinations are rational and irrational. Then what are the important aspects before prescribing fixed dose drug combinations? And then we will discuss banned fixed dose combinations in Indian market. Then recently approved fixed dose combinations by Drug Controller General. And then we summarize our class. This is the FDC approval and licensees. Okay, this according to FDA, fixed dose combination is defined as the combination of a drug and a device or a biological product or a drug, device and a biological product and a device or a drug and a biological product or a drug, device and a biological product. This is the definition according to FDA. So simply we can say that when two or more than two drugs are used in a fixed ratio, this we call it as fixed dose combination or FDC. Fixed dose combinations are rational as well as irrational. Most of the irrational FDCs are widely prescribed in India. Okay, we will discuss. So what are the comments of WHO about this FDC? This combination drug should only use when there are no alternative of single drugs available or cost effectiveness for purpose, then only we combination drugs are preferred according to WHO. And these combination drugs usually increase the risk of side effects and may also needlessly increase the cost. Most of these combination drugs are irrational because their stability is doubtful and reducing the efficacy of many preparations. This is the main comments of WHO according to WHO on FDC, this fixed dose combination. Those fixed dose combinations used only when the single drug regimens are failed. Because most of these combinations increase the risk of side effects and most of combinations are costly and most of these combinations are irrational. These irrational combinations increase the side effects and drug interactions. So this not satisfactory for patients. On that sense, WHO only recommend this fixed dose combination when all other single drug regimens are failed. Okay, 14th model list of essential drugs prepared by WHO included 312 formulations, which 18 are fixed dose drug combinations. In WHO, essential medicine list has only 2.1% of FDCs. So, roughly approximately 1000 drug formulations are marketed in India and nearly 70% of them are FDCs. Majority of FDCs are non-essential, irrational and harmful. So, how to select the drug formulation? This FDC, if this rational or irrational. So, the selection of drug formulation is an important thing. Usually, doctors get informations about various drugs from medical representatives and from promotional literature that's made by pharmaceutical industries, and we can also collect the all these drug informations from monthly index of medical specialties MIMS and SIMS, Indian Drug Review and Drug Index. These provide all the details about the drug formulations and this about the rationality. So we can select the most efficacious and safety drug and is helpful for the cost effectiveness of drug. So the selection of right drug formulations are important. So we can get the all the rationality, irrationality details from these references. Okay. Next we come to the some examples of rational FDCs. According to WHO, model list of essential drugs provides examples of some rational FDCs. Sulfamethoxazole and trimethoprim, and some of these anti-tubercular combinations like rifampicin, isoniazid, ethambutol, and this anti-Parkinson's drugs like levodopa, carbidopa. These FDC combinations are rational according to WHO. So what is the rationality of FDC? Rationality means if combining with we combine two drugs, this should show the efficacy. Efficacy should be increased and they should preferably act by different mechanism, because we adding the two drug types sometimes in the same class or sometimes in different class. So they show the different mechanisms. When they adding these two drugs, these drugs should potentiate the efficacy. So if this drug is show the efficacy, good efficacy, we can say that the rational drug. Examples like trimethoprim and sulfamethoxazole. This trimethoprim and sulfamethoxazole, this combination shows the synergistic actions. So one drug potentiate the actions of other drugs. So this shows the good efficacy. So this is the good rational drug. And another criteria for the rationality is the pharmacokinetic similarities. If we take these two drugs, this the half-life is almost same, that is near to 12 hours. So this combination is suitable in renal or poor hepatic function. Other important criteria for rationality of FDC are both drugs should have different side effect profile, and it is better if the side effects of the one may counter the other. For example, potassium losing and this potassium sparing diuretics. Potassium losing diuretics is mainly loop diuretics categories, furosemide, and this potassium sparing diuretics is a spironolactone. When we combine both these drugs, one drug counter the side effects of other drug. That's the counter the hypokalemia. So this shows the good efficacy. Another example is the combination of atenolol and amlodipine. This combination is helpful as antihypertensive, and this atenolol this shows the bradycardia and amlodipine tachycardia. So this is the two different side effects profile showing, and these two different side effect profile helps to counter the side effects of the other drug. So this drug is a good FDC rational drug. Another important criteria are convenience of administrations, better patients' complaints when treatment is required for the prolonged or lifelong. Usually these FDCs are useful in this anti-tubercular combinations, anti-retroviral, HIV drugs combinations. Sometimes these FDCs are rational, but their use is irrational. Sometimes we identified as the rational combination, but in come to the usage level, this shows the irrational. For example, this FDCs of most of these antihypertensives, anti-diabetics drugs. Okay, then what are the advantages of this fixed dose combination? Most important one is the enhanced efficacy. Mostly this the TB drugs, diabetes, hypertension, certain FDCs efficacy is increased, but their adverse reactions are antagonistic. If combining the amlodipine and atenolol, one drug counter the side effects of the other. So this is helpful to increase the efficacy and this shows the good therapeutic action. Another important advantages of these FDCs are synergistic effect. One drug potentiate the action of the other drug. Is the trimethoprim and sulfamethasone. We already discussed this. This combination is very good one because this drug shows the nearly same pharmacokinetic profile, and this also helpful for this prevention of almost all types of bacterial infections, and this shows the synergistic actions of one drug potentiate the action of the other drug. Levodopa and carbidopa, this combination is also shows the good synergistic effects for the treatment of Parkinsonism. Okay, another important advantages of FDCs are prevents the development resistant, mostly in TB drugs, mostly in multi-drug therapies. I think we already discussed in your anti-leprotic class also. In multi-drug therapy, usually these drug combinations are used. Main advantages of that drug combination is prevent the resistant. So in FDC, there's the fixed dose combination helpful in case that prevents the development of resistance. Sometimes the single drug causes the resistance. So if combinedly use this prevent the resistance. And another advantage is reduce the adverse effects. This carbidopa, levodopa and isoniazid rifampicin pyrazamide, this combination is helpful to reduce the hepatotoxic effects of drugs. And another one is the reduce the cost of treatment, but is not always true. Mostly combination drugs are not very cheaper one. Some comparing to some monotherapy, some of these combination drugs are costly. So is we can not come to the conclusion all these combination drugs are cost effective. Okay, then convenient and better patient compliance, mostly in case of anti-TB drugs, HIV, hypertensive, diabetic drugs. When these combinations are used, these patients' complaints are better. The patients are satisfied this combination. Okay. Next, what are the disadvantages of this fixed dose combination? Difficulty in dose adjustment or flexibility in dose. In subtherapeutic dose of individual drug, and difficulty to detect the side effects. Another important disadvantage is the pharmacokinetic incompatibility, and most of drugs shows the pharmacokinetic parameters are different. So this affects differently in altered hepatic or renal functions, and some of these combinations increase the side effects and drug interactions. For examples like this nimesulide paracetamol, this both are NSAID drugs, but this one drug increase the side effects of the other, and this combination is irrational because this NSAID combinations usually increase the side effects and drug interactions. So these combinations are irrational, and this nimesulide, this drug is cannot be combined with the other hepatotoxic drugs. This also increase the hepatotoxicity of drugs. Mostly in pediatric practice, some of these dangerous side effects profiles are reported. So this combination is irrational. Okay, next we come to the examples of irrational FDCs. This diclofenac and ceratopeptidase. These combinations usually increase the risk of GI irritations and serious bleeding. Another combination is norfloxacin, ciprofloxacin and metronidazole, usually antimicrobial plus anti-amoebic. This combination is irrational, usually the chance of resistant strains of organisms. NSAID combination, if you combine two NSAIDs, there is no synergistic effect, and this combination is dangerous. For example, is nimesulide paracetamol, this combination is irrational. This NSAID combination increase the side effects and drug interactions profile. So this NSAID analgesic with antispasmodic agents, these combinations are irrational and dangerous. Another example is the metformin and glimepiride and pelaglostrone. These anti-diabetic drugs, these usually cannot be combined because this shows the different pharmacokinetic parameters, and when these combinations are only useful when the monotherapies are failed. In that situations only we can use these combinations. Another antibacterial, anti-amoebic, antibacterial and mucolytic. These combinations are usually irrational. We cannot combine in antibacterial and anti-amoebic combinations. Another combination is H2 blockers like this ranitidine, and another one is the antispasmodic drug, that is the dicyclomine. These combinations cannot be added. This pain of peptic ulcer will subside only reduction in gastric acid in stomach by this H2 blockers, ranitidine or proton pump like omeprazole, pantoprazole. So there is no justification combining this H2 blockers. And this antacid with anti-anxiety drugs, the simultaneous use should always be avoided, as this antacids usually reduce the absorptions of anti-anxiety drugs. So these combinations are also irrational. Okay, then before prescribing fixed dose combinations, physician should check the some following criteria of drugs. Drugs half-life should be checked. For examples like this ampicillin, clavinic acid, these combinations are nowadays widely used one, and is the good combinations. If we check this combination, this half-life shows the approximately nearer both these drugs, and volume of distributions are also same, hence this can be combined in the standard dose regimens. Bioavailability data is also checked for this combined formulation. Then need to titrate the dose of individual drugs, and this data showing the superior efficacy and safety of the combination. If one drug is adequate, fixed dose drug combination should not be prescribed. So these are the important criteria we should keep in your mind before prescribing any fixed dose combination. Okay, then fixed dose combination, this according to 16th WHO model list of essential list, this is the 351 essential medicines that includes 26 are the fixed dose combinations, and national list of essential medicines of India have 354 essential drugs. This includes 14 are fixed dose combinations. Okay, then the fixed dose combinations in 6th WHO list of essential medicine, these are the some important drugs. This included this amoxicillin, clavinic acid, some of these anti-viral and this anti-TB drugs, sulfadoxypyramine, antibiotics combination, anti-Parkinson's combinations, ORS is oral rehydration salt. These are also included in both this national essential medicine list and WHO essential medicine list. This includes this, all these FDCs are include trimethamine, sulfosamine, and this aluminum hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, lignocaine, adrenaline. All these combinations are rational, and this included in WHO list of essential medicine. Okay, next we come to this, the what are the banned fixed dose combinations in Indian market. Mostly this banned one is the norfloxacin metronidazole, is the antimicrobial and anti-amoebic. These combinations are banned one. If this combining this anti-amoebic with this fluoroquinolones, this combination is irrational, because this patient suffers only from one type of diarrhea. So using these combinations only adds the cost, adverse reactions and resistance. So these combinations are irrational, and these are banned in Indian markets. Another combination same like this norfloxacin, odridazole, ciprofloxacin, tinidazole, all these combinations shows the drug resistance. Another banned combinations are NSAID combinations, nimesulide, diclofenac. These combinations are usually banned one. This nimesulide is a controversial drug. When this combining two NSAID drugs usually increase the side effects of the both NSAIDs. So, and there is only little evidence that the preparations containing more than one analgesic is more effective than a single ingredient preparation. So there is good evidence of this comparison, and nimesulide is a very uh, controversial drug, and this shows the high side effects profile. So this drug, single monotherapy and combinations of these drugs are also banned one. Another combination is this amoxicillin and cloxacillin. Amoxicillin is usually is an inactive against staphylococci, as most strains produce beta lactamase. This cloxacillin is not so active against streptococci. So for any given infections, one of the component is useless. If this combination only adds to cost, adverse reactions, and efficacy also reduced. So and chance of resistant strains also increase. So this amoxicillin cloxacillin combination is irrational. This one is also banned one. Domperidone and rabeprazole. This domperidone and rabeprazole, this mainly these combinations increase the incidence of rhabdomyolysis. And another combination is the atorvastatin nicotinic acid. This combination is also banned. This shows the probability of myopathy is increased. Roxithromycin, ambroxol, and this fluconazole, tinidazole, doxycycline, tinidazole, tetracycline, metronidazole. These combinations are also banned. When combining two antimicrobials increase the spectrum of activity. So these are irrational, and patients may need only one drug. Enalapril, losartan. If we combine these two drugs, this affecting the same pathway is irrational, and this does not add to efficacy. This cetirizine, phenylpropylamine, dextromethorphan, this combination this phenylpropylene is banned in most of these countries. This usually included in cough and cold remedies because of its potential to cause the stroke, and this mostly seen in hypertensive patients. So these combinations are banned. These combinations also aggregates diabetes, glaucoma, and prostate enlargement. So these combinations are also banned in India. Diazepam and another combination, dried aluminum hydroxide. That is the antacid combination with diazepam, benzodiazepine category drug. These antacids usually rise the gastric pH, and this reduce the absorptions of benzodiazepines. So these combinations are not good, and these are also banned one. Another combination, important one, is the cisapride, misapride. This cisapride and misapride, this single monotherapy is also banned in most of countries. This shows the serious cardiac arrhythmias and QT prolongations, serious side effect profile. So this single monotherapy is also banned. This combination is also banned one. In patients those who are suffering from GRD, the use of this combination shows there is no benefits due to their addition of this prokinetics drugs. When we combine to this prokinetic drug is added, there is no increase the efficacy, and side effect profile is also showing. So these drugs are also banned in India. Okay, then fixed dose combination, those approved by Drug Control General 2021. Here in 2021, lots of drugs fixed dose combinations are approved by DCG. Here I am only showing 2 or 3 important drugs. This atorvastatin, aspirin, these fixed dose combinations approved by DCG. This treatment of dyslipidemia associated with atherosclerotic arterial disease with the risk of MI, stroke, peripheral vascular disease. and benidipine hydrochloride telmisartan. This combination used for this treatment of hypertension is also approved. And another combination, that's the ORS combination: zinc sulfate, sodium citrate, potassium chloride, sodium chloride, dextrose anhydrous. This combination is approved for this oral rehydration. Okay, next we come to this, the FDC approval. Now we discussed about the FDC's rationality and irrational drug, banned drugs. So now we come to the approval level. This FDC approval by this FDC drugs usually approved by FDA. If we check by yearly, there's no dramatic increase. Sometimes it's decreasing, increasing. This variation is also showing if comparing the single drug therapy. Fixed dose combination, this not a dramatic increase is not showing this usage. Most of times marketed drugs are also banned because of the side effect profile. So we need more research on that field, because these drug particles have a different varieties of characteristics. This is a very complex characteristics, so we can't simply mix 2 or 3 drugs, because these 2 or 3 drugs, if it comes in the same class or different class, there are lots of similarities and differences also. If this not matching one, this precipitate the side effects, and this causes the dangerous. So we need more to more about their characteristics, then only fixed dose combinations comes the 100% successful, right, only comes. So we need to more about this physicochemical characteristics and the side effect profiles. Okay. Okay, now we come to this, the discussion section. We already discussed the FDC drugs, rationality, irrationality, what are the important criteria should follow this FDC category drugs, and banned drugs also. Here this, the doctor has diagnosed acute amoebic dysentery in an adult patient and is prescribed a combination of norfloxacin and metronidazole orally twice daily for 5 days. So analyze this combination using the rationality criteria and justify your answer. This number of combinations are available, we already discussed. And if this combination, this norfloxacin plus metronidazole, this combination is rational or irrational, we already discussed this antimicrobial and anti-amoebic. These combinations are already banned one, because this is the irrational combination. If we check the efficacy and cost effectiveness of this combination, in efficacy side, metronidazole single monotherapy is only effective in this acute amoebic dysentery. In this case, no need to give the norfloxacin. So this combination is irrational and useless. If we check the cost effectiveness criteria, this cost effective is the single monotherapy comparing to this the FDC. In single here this single monotherapy has the less cost comparing to this the FDC combination. So this combination is not used in this case, only metronidazole is enough. Okay, then assign the status as the rational, semi-rational, irrational, and give the reason. Comments of the following FDC. This paracetamol, nimuloside, both are NSAIDs, so we can't combine these side effects profiles. And in pediatric practice, this also shows the hepatotoxicity, so this combination is irrational. Amoxicillin and clavinic acid, these combinations are good. These pharmacokinetic parameters also good, and this also potentiate the efficacy. So this is rational one. Ampicillin and cloxacillin, we already discussed, this combination is irrational. Enalapril and losartan, that's also irrational combination. Okay, then list any 5 FDC this approved by WHO and give the rationale behind the use of each one. We already discussed the FDC, this approved by WHO, and what are the drugs are rational drugs and irrational drug, and what are the reasons. Okay. Okay, thank you. Next class we will discuss about the OTC, that's the over the counter drugs.